Wow. Stop. Wake up. Who's excited about today? Are you guys ready for today? Because today is a glorious day made by God and all the angels. Should you buy the Hasan shot collar? Nope. I don't need to because he didn't even have one. She wasn't even wearing a... There wasn't even a dog on stream that day. You guys are lying. I was guaranteed that Hasan had the truth. New shock clip. Wait, what? Are these older or... That mutt is on the floor? Are you serious? I cannot imagine going to glance at your OBS on screen and seeing that god dog off of its plate, its designer bed. He paid over $100 for this Gucci Mastiff Tibetan bed, and this dog dares to sleep on the floor while Hasan is on a busy research Twitter tab stream day. You better get this dog back in place, Hasan.
Trump was potentially going to use to potentially put pressure on Jordan's king to try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what
get that dog on. Yeah, get him on there.
The course of the past few weeks.
Hell yes.
Jordan and also Egypt.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, thank you. I needed that. Get him in place. You can literally see it. See, he's just reaching for his ends, bro. What are you saying?
Take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what we on Jordan's king to try and take in more to potentially put pressure on Jordan's king to try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what we've heard from Trump over the course of the past few weeks, is that Jordan and also Egypt.
This poor dog, dude. Oh, he does that. You're right. You're right. I noticed that once before. Because he mutes his mic when he zaps her. So she could be yelping a ton.
Trump was potentially going to use...
I wonder what his mute is.
...to potentially put pressure on Jordan's king to try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's
he is muted. So she could be... Oh, that would actually be...
over the course of the past few weeks, is that Jordan and...
It would explain why he didn't respond to her yelping before. Because we're all assuming, like, oh, maybe he just shocks her a ton off stream. But he could literally shock her on stream, right? And he was used to hearing her yelp. Oh, actually? He has a huge noise gate? Nope, no. That's not how that works. Trust me. He's not noise gating. He's muting. 100% he's muting. Trust me.
Trump was potentially going to...
you can tell because of the one time he didn't mute. That's when the yelp got through. Where is the, wait, link me the original. That's why he has the noise. No, stop. I don't know what YouTuber or what retards gave you this noise gate idea. It's not a noise gate that is preventing the yelps from coming through. It's muted. Please stop. Okay. I linked the clip time.
That Jordan's King Abdullah.
No. Link me the original shock. No, or I'm sorry, the shock that went, the shock heard around the world.
But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America... Kaya, please just fucking go... Just stop. Kaya, please just fucking go... Just stop.
I wonder if this is... Oh, no, he didn't even try to mute. He's just mid-sentence. Maybe he thought she wouldn't yelp? I wonder if, I don't know anything about training with shot callers. Tabor would know the answer to this. But I feel like shot callers are supposed to be associated with like a very, 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 very specific command or thing. Like you're not just supposed to shock a dog that's misbehaving, but you either shock them as they're like explicitly doing something they're not supposed to, like crossing a boundary, or like explicitly, I don't know if you're supposed to shock while also giving a command. I don't think so. I think that because it makes the shock redundant, you're not supposed to do that. He probably thought she wouldn't yelp. Tabor said no. Yeah, okay. Because otherwise, there's no point in having a command or a shot collar, right? Because if you're dogs are a very simple creature. So are humans, actually. Humans respond. Everybody responds to pain in a very similar way, in that they become expert diagnosticians and take a lot of Vicodin. The thing is that we've talked about like the Skinnerd learning things. You have like actions. What do you have? You have actions, and then you have... God, fuck, I always forget this, the dumb boxes. But there are 4 different like primary reward schedules. And one is like when you do a fixed number of actions, there are a fixed number of responses. And so basically, like if you do one thing and you get a reward, then you do the one thing and you get a reward. It's a very strong thing. It's reinforced very quickly. But that reward schedule is broken very quickly as well. If you're used to doing an action 5 times, then you get 1 reward. And then you do 5 times, you get 1 reward. You do 5 times, you get 1 reward. If you do it 5 times, you get no reward. You might do the action 3, 4, 5 more times, and then it's broken. So the idea of issuing shot commands while you're also issuing verbal commands doesn't make any sense to me, because that means you would have to issue a shock every single time you issue the verbal command, because the dog is probably responding more to the pain or the correction, the punishment, than he is to your voice. So if you stop shocking at some point, the dog's going to stop listening to the command. So I don't know why you would ever train a command with a shock, unless I'm misunderstanding something. There could be something I'm not understanding about that, but that's my understanding of how that type of reward works. That's why, like I think that's why typically people will use will give treats with either every command or with a random number of commands, because random rewards are very hard to break. So when you issue a command and he obeys, then you give him a treat, so he has the incentive to do the command. But with the shock thing, you would have to shock every single time. The command doesn't work anymore without the collar. Yeah, but my guess is that I'm reaching a bit. Fuck this piece of shit pedo fuck though. I should reach. He's probably not trained that well, is my guess, unfortunately. If he's this reliant, because keep in mind too, he's had this dog for what, like 2 years? Because this dog seems to not listen much at all to him unless he is shocking it.
To a position where we've finally gotten to a place where like, oh, pure peace is taking place.
So cringe.
It's taking place. It's
so cringe. But like you can see here, the dog's not even responding to the word at all. So it's like I say amateur. I've had a lot of dogs and seen a lot of dogs, but in my amateur assessment, the dog hasn't been trained to respond to the place command at all, or it doesn't seem like it. Because I know, like if I was talking, I've had casual conversations where I'll be talking to people and I'll say something like, oh yeah, it was kind of fun yesterday. I want to walk with whoever. And like the dog will start forgetting. I have no idea why. And like you said the W word, walk. And then the dog will forget again. So the idea that he's like dropping place 3 times here and Kaya's not even responding makes me think that the dog has, but I guess that is just proving what I said before, that the association is broken immediately when the punishment, it would be, negative reinforcement? No, it would be positive punishment. You're applying something to reduce the behavior. That once the positive punishment goes away, that the dog no longer responds to the command because it was never responding to the command in the first place.
To a position where we've finally gotten to a place where like, oh, pure peace is taking place.
Say it one more time.
Taking place. Is
Kaya?
Okay, what? What do you?
And there's also crazy to me that I need to stop hedging. This dog just hates him. It's crazy to me that when he talks to the dog and stuff, the dog never, ever comes to him. She always is just trying to leave.
What?
Like, even that's weird. Like, he puts his hand out.
Okay, what?
Oh, she looks so sad. Look. She's like, oh.
Okay.
Oh, and her ears go down.
What?
Wags her tail a little bit. And she's like,
what?
He goes to put his hand out. She's like ducking almost. She's got like the Taylor Swift girl back.
What?
And she's like, whoa. She's just trying to like leave the room.
What do you want?
Jesus Christ. He's like pretending to pet her.
Okay.
Do you think his trainer told him to use his shock collar like this? I would be surprised, but I mean, I don't know. There might be good dog trainers, there might be shitty dog trainers, and there might be something that I just don't understand about shot collar training or something. Look at the last, or look at the couple of seconds before the latest clip.
Ask you first about the fact that Jordan's King Abdullah is heading to Washington.
11 young
Oh my
Saudi-
God. Wait, this dog is super misbehaving. Kaya? What the fuck?
and then use Jordan were to actually do a
Now, this, by the way, this looks like a sleeping dog. She's sleeping.
successful coup, and then use Jordan as
You can train your dog to respond in basically any single way with a shock collar. The only thing you need to be is consistent. Yeah, but I don't you, when you're trying to get a dog to like go into a crate or when you're doing place training or whatever, aren't you normally giving rewards when the dog does it? Like I feel like I see with the big dogs or whatever, when people say things like sit, they'll give like a little treat because the dog is listening. I feel like I don't see people using punishment or negative like applied pressure or whatever. Like I don't think I see people using punishment to get dogs to follow commands that you're issuing regularly. Like I feel like that's reserved for, like I've seen shock collars used really effectively to enforce fences, like boundaries, like don't go past there, you'll get shocked. But you only have to apply that one time or a couple times. The dog learns the boundary and the dog never crosses. And then ideally the dog is never getting shocked again. That's why I'm saying like the two times I've known people who use shock collars. I don't think I've ever seen the shock collar go off. They just told me they have shock collar because I asked, like, how the fuck does your dog never run out of the yard? You're not worried about that? Like, the dog is running along like an invisible fence. How? And they're like, oh, we have a shock collar. And then we've got a thing buried so the dog knows exactly where to go. I don't think I've ever seen a dog actually shocked by the collar before. Then again, those collars, I don't know if they had remotes or not. I think they only responded to the boundaries, to the fences. But the idea that you would shock your dog every time you're issuing any command ever just seems really weird to me.
a launching pad for any kind of West Bank military operations that they want to conduct. Now, if you're, then this will lead to like significant.
Yeah, like why? Like you wouldn't want to have the dog associate because like what is the dog doing here to get shocked? Like what is the bad behavior? Is the bad behavior just touching the floor? Is that the bad behavior that you have to shock the dog out of? Also, like how does the dog know when it can get up? So like it's bad to get off the bed so it gets shocked, but then when Hasan's done streaming and what he calls it, then it's okay to get off the bed? Like I feel like it's easy for me to say this now, obviously, because I think Kaya is roaming a lot more. But it wouldn't surprise me to see this behavior broken immediately once the shock collar goes away, because what is the dog even learning? Like what are you learning? That sometimes the floor is lava, except when my Turkish master allows me to roam? Oh, these are all from different... Wait. What the fuck is this?
Ask you first about the fact that Jordan's King Abdullah is heading to Washington, D.C. tomorrow, as I understand it. This was always going to be something that Trump was potentially going to use to potentially put pressure on Jordan's king to try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what we've heard from Trump over the course of the past few weeks, is that Jordan and also Egypt should be taking in more Palestinians. Should we expect more of this at this meeting?
That's when he's muted? Yeah, of course.
Yes, and I think the Arab states, who have been fundamentally inert for the past 15, 16 months, are now coming to the realization that the alternative to an end to Israeli occupation, the alternative...
For what it's worth, he has blamed his parents for not being consistent in her training when he's away. Yeah, but whose fault is that? If you're leaving your dog with your parents, they should have a pretty strict... Like, unless the parents are actually breaking your rules that you're laying out for them, or is it just that Hasan's not telling them that he has her on a shock collar and just leaving the dog with them, and then who knows, you know? But like also, my guess is nobody's going to enforce his rules when he's not there. Like, Mom, I need you to make sure that when I'm gone, Kaya is forced to sleep in that bed 8 hours a day. Why?
to a Palestinian state in Palestine is a Palestinian state in one of their own countries.
That motherfucker right there. Okay, let me tell you something. That fucking this right here, this fucking demon, okay, who's sleeping like a goddamn baby currently, that thing right there was the spawn of Satan. Do you understand me? When I'm telling you that was the spawn of Satan, I'm telling you, like, I was sick. I was sick to my stomach. I was sick all the fucking time. I thought I was gonna die. And look at her now. The most perfect puppy of all time. Why? Because I trained the living dog shit out of her, okay? Every goddamn day I had to train the people around her to make sure that they were doing the right things. I had to train her every fucking day. And that's what you're supposed to do. And look at her now. She's incredibly well trained. But like the first 4 to 6 months, I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, I think I might actually perish if this continues. So, you shipped her off to a puppy boarding school? Yeah, but I trained her before then. Like, you have to remember, she was very well trained even before then. And then after that, it was like, it was over. Plus, if I can do that, she can do that too. What are you talking about? This is the fucking governor. Like, what? Yeah, I trained the shit out of her for months. And then I even took it to the next level where I took her to professional, like, doggy boarding school. And after that, it was over, you know? She's just
so perfectly trained, he just has to shock her constantly whenever she gets up. Whatever. Cringe. The Hasan Daily Dog Report. What else do we have? Emaru's statement. Bro! Excuse me. We're doing our hour of Kaya coverage first, all right? YSK. Oh, this is an ad. Cringe. Oh, I was going to watch. There's no way I can watch this whole thing, okay? It's like fucking 3 hours long, right?
So important to see that this guy is brought to justice. And this is what's happening right now because we're talking across each other. We're not actually listening to each other. We're just like getting pissed at each other, blaming each other, and then like inviting the rest of the world to be less stupid, right? We're smart, you're dumb. And that is not working, y'all. It's just not working. This is why dialogue, as we've seen a decline in dialogue, we see more things like this, where it's shots fired, followed by defenses, followed by tribal thinking, followed by defense versus attack. Now it's us versus them. There's no like, hey, can we sit down and try to figure out what's like going on? How is this for you? Like what, what's going on with you? Like, everyone feels this way. Like, what do you think about that? Like there's no dialogue. And then we get to, I think, the weird stuff. Okay. Now this is where there's something weird in the air that is hard for me to describe, but I think there's a lot of projection. There's a lot of displacement.
Whoops.
And the reason, like, when I look at this, like, this 78K, like, this blows my mind. And Hasan is like, hey, there's a genocide going on, right? There's all kinds of problems in the world. And it's not just a genocide. There's like, American, like, rural hospitals in America are closing down. Like, there's still conflict in Israel and Palestine. There's a lot of like weird stuff happening in the US. There's war between Ukraine and Russia. There are problems in the EU. Was it not Indonesia? Which country was it? Nepal, maybe? Had like a revolution where they elected somebody on Discord. I'm forgetting which country it was. I think it was Nepal. And they fucking dragged their finance minister through the streets and like whipped him and stuff like that. Like there's all kinds of stuff going on. And this is what we get really focused on. Right? So for the people who are like hammering Hasan, why is it that it is so important to see that this guy is brought to justice about this issue? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, why is there such a intense desire to see this outcome resolved in a particular way? Do y'all get, like, that's a little bit weird? Like, what is our investment as a community in this? Are we suddenly, like, super pro animal rights? Or, like, what's going on here? Are we going to try to, like, protect it? Like, why are we so invested in this? And this is where I think there's a lot of projection, there's a lot of displacement. I'm not quite sure what this is. I'd really have to sit down and talk to a lot of people to really understand what's going on. But this is what I feel. So this is the part that I think is, like, the sketchiest part of what I'm going to say. So what I detect is a lot of pent-up resentment. And now that resentment is coming out. I would say that this reaction is disproportionate, and maybe I'm wrong there, maybe I don't understand people's values and we're really pro-animals or whatever, but I would say that this reaction is like disproportionate to the size of the thing. Right? And I want to say, like, I'm going to just check in with chat for a second.
I think I think the issue that Dr. K is seeing here is he's analyzing this like an ordinary kind of like internet drama situation. And I think from his perspective, it makes sense. Like the reaction is like really unhinged and super disproportionate. It's like, well, why do people care about this so much? But I think there's a lot of, one, because he's a political person, there's a lot of like baggage associated with this. And then two, I think it's almost like I actually think you can map a lot of it onto the pirate software stuff, where you're having somebody where it's so obvious that something wrong has happened. Like it's like George Floyd, basically. We have video footage of it and you can see so much of it. And it's just very clear and plain and obvious what's happening. So for that to be the case, and then for people to be openly telling you that you're not seeing it and it's not actually happening, and they're all like mapped on these clean lines politically of all the people that have made excuses before, like this is just kind of it's like a moment of, oh my God, we got him. It's like almost like the Martha Stewart stuff, although she wasn't quite as reality shattering as, like MAGA or the Hasan crowd is now. So I think that he's missing this whole aspect of the conversation, which I don't necessarily blame him. I don't know how much he covers like political streamer drama. Well, actually, when we hung out in person, I kind of brought this up a little, that it feels like sometimes since he doesn't cover political streamer drama, he's not aware of environments where people are, like the way that he's analyzing this is everybody's kind of sort of trying to navigate this as best they can. And, like some people make mistakes and maybe some people exaggerate a little bit, but he's not used to analyzing environments, or at least he's not analyzing this environment as though there's one side that is like deliberately telling lies and deliberately trying to tell everybody that what they saw is not what they actually saw and deliberately misleading people. Like it doesn't sound like he's analyzing the environment as such, and maybe he doesn't think he has a reason to yet.
Can we agree on that? Would y'all say that this is like, okay, because we hate hypocrites? Great. So for the people who are saying no, what are y'all saying? Why do y'all think this is not disproportionate? No, let's listen to the people. So people who say, let me understand. Because he always escapes, okay, this is beautiful. Okay, always escapes responsibility. What else? Oh, Jesus, I gotta slow down. Maybe we're pro animals, like, okay, right? So animal abuse, but there's like all kinds of animal abuse going on all the time, right? There's like all kinds of animal abuse going on all the time.
Seeing it though, people do get up in arms, like Cecil the Lion or the Harambe. Like if you see it on video and there's a story attached to it, people will get more emotional about it as well though.
What bothers us so much about this instance of animal abuse? More so than everything else. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying y'all are wrong. I'm genuinely trying to understand why, for the people who do not think this is disproportionate. Like, tell me why. Explain it to me. He can't keep getting away with it. Exposes his true colors. Okay. So then this is like related to hypocrisy. This is beautiful. Okay.
People would have latched onto anything for Hasan though. I mean, there are certain communities that would for sure, but like it wouldn't blow up like this unless there was actually like a video of something, bad.
So he's like deflecting, talking about rapes. Okay. Gaslighting. Okay, this is great. Okay, so I didn't feel super confident in what I was about to say. Double standards. Okay, I didn't feel super confident in what I was going to say, but...
I don't understand how he's flabbergasted at this response when it's essentially the same response that happened to Pirate Software. I think this one is a lot bigger. And I think that Pirate Software's narcissism is a lot more obvious than Hasan's is.
Man, y'all just really helped me out, so I'm so grateful, okay? This is so good, okay. All right, so remember when I said up here, there's pent-up resentment. Okay, so I'm going to ask y'all a question. Okay. Do we live in a world where there are some people...
The amount of unintentional sweeping Dr. K is doing is similar to Asman giving cover to Trump while calling his actions bad. No, I don't necessarily disagree. I feel like Dr. K should pay a bit more attention to the political environments, but it's way outside of the norm for environments he's probably used to analyzing. But Asman absolutely knows what he's doing. Asman absolutely knows what he's doing.
Who escape... Jesus, my handwriting is terrible. And I apologize for taking the Lord's name in vain. Are there people in today's world that escape responsibility? What do y'all think, chat? No accountability. Are we upset? Right? Can y'all think of anyone who is escaping responsibility for their actions? Right? Are we upset with them? Yeah, okay. Are there people? Can we do anything about it? So I want y'all to think about someone who is escaping responsibility, and what can you do? Can y'all do anything about it? Okay, right? So like some people are saying yes, some people are saying no, right? So there are people, and can we do anything about it? Not really. And maybe you can do something, I don't know, right? Are there people out there abusing animals? Can we do anything about it? Do we do anything about it? Not really. Are there people out there who keep getting away with it? Can we do anything about it? Not really. Do we know someone who we're waiting for them to expose their true colors? Or they're like people in your life that you know, like that you see on TV or you see on the internet? Are we like kind of as a society, are we frustrated with people being fake? And can we expose them? No. Are there people around us that are very hypocritical? Say one, it's like, anyway. But do y'all get what I'm saying about this right here? That this is what's happening. We've got one guy. And when the mob gets angry, and it's angry at 15 people, and one person fitting the description of the other 14 show up, they tear him apart. Now, there are a couple of other complicating factors here, which I think really, there's a lot of pent-up stuff, I think, that's specifically towards Hasan. So I know, for example, that, and I'm not saying this is true or not true, I'm just saying that with the creators that I've worked with, one of the things that there are a handful of communities that they're really scared of, and Hasan's is one of them. I'm not saying that that's justified or not justified, I'm not saying it's true or not true, but just for whatever reason, right, and when people say, I'll ask them, like, why, right, what concerns you about? And I think it has something to do with his size, his rigidity, and the tribalism of his community, right? There's an us versus them. And so another example of this, and I think this is why the Ethan Klein Hasan thing got so bad, because there's a lot of tribalism in both of those communities. There's not a...
He's missing a fourth thing here. So size and that the number of people there are. Rigidity, I think he means in terms of their conformity to a certain belief system. And then tribalism, their in-group, out-group thing. But the big number 4 thing, because people will say the same thing about my community, or they'll say the same thing about Asmongold's or XQC's, but there's a 4th thing at play here. This is the thing that Trump has that makes him such an effective wrangler of retards, and the same thing that Hasan has that makes him such an effective wrangler of retards, is Hasan has the ability to enforce punishments that are meaningful to you. That's the big difference. And Ethan doesn't really have that. I definitely don't have that. Asmongold and XQC don't really have that, but Hasan can blackball you from a whole bunch of Twitch stuff, or at least he used to be able to, and he tries to. That's like a deliberate thing. Some people will do this kind of, there's like 4 levels of this. Sometimes it'll happen unintentionally, and the streamer truly doesn't know. So maybe somebody shows up on my stream, like gives a bad take on something, and my community is overly critical of them, and then, that person doesn't want to come on, or somebody else doesn't have that person on their stream because they're worried about getting a negative. Like that maybe can fly under the radar if people aren't looking close enough. That's one level. The next level is the streamer kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He doesn't say it openly, but he's harshly critical of a person, knowing his community is going to lash out at them, knowing that it's going to cause them to engage less. Then there's but then there's like this next level, which very few people can enforce, and it's I'm going to excise you from every arena that I'm a part of, like intentionally. Like I'm going to make sure that people won't work with you, that my mutuals won't be mutuals anymore because they're going to cut you out. And that's the type of influence that Hasan exerts. It's very rare, in my opinion, outside of some select circles, to see number 1 happening. Most streamers that are trying to do shitty behavior will live in number 2. Like even Asmongold, and I don't like to put Asmongold and XQC together, but like I think Asmongold is okay to kind of like greenlight bad opinions in his community about other people or whatever, and maybe even XQC or whatever. I don't like to put XQC in this box as much. But I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that Asmongold would ever be saying to somebody behind the scenes, I'm not going to work with you if you work with this guy. I don't ever want you to talk to this guy. Definitely not about me. I don't ever want you to. I don't think Asmongold would ever do that. Hasan will. And he's on the record now. We've seen multiple people have said that Hasan will do this, right? That's the big thing that is super scary about Tango with Hasan. Like, Valkyrie had absolutely no problem making a public statement about Asmongold, saying, I didn't know how bad his beliefs are, guys. I would never fuck with that guy. I'm sorry, I didn't know. No one would ever say correct a statement about Hasan, because you know that Hasan's going to come. That's why you see all of these other people bending the knee, right? Valkyrie, Pokemon, Ludwig, Nick, like every other Twitch streamer, is because Philip DeFranco, everybody gets to the call. Hasan is literally Kelly Jeaning in the background, messaging people and telling people, you need to fix this statement. You need to say this. You can't say this about me, bro. You're fucking me over or whatever, and they know that if they don't follow through, they're going to be blackballed next. And that's That's the big thing that sets his, and because Hasan has like sway at Twitch, like he's never getting banned, right? We've seen that. He can greenlight, he can basically dox, harass, whatever, call for whatever on people, and is never getting in trouble with the platform. And then he also has sway with a lot of creators for some reason still, although the sponsorship bans have hurt him a lot on that because he can't go to events now. Oh, he does still go to some. Yeah.
There's an us versus them. And so another example of this, and I think this is why the Ethan Klein Hasan thing got so bad, because there's a lot of tribalism in both of those communities. There's not a whole lot of like dialogue or trying to understand or things like that, at least that I can perceive. And if that's incorrect, remember, I'm making these judgments based on very limited stuff. It's not like I watch these guys a whole lot. It's just when I...
It's not a defense of Hasan Destiny, but in general, streamers and other famous people absorb a lot of clash criticism because they're hyper visible. Other people, generational wealth move in silence. The general public can't rage at a trust fund or VC money. Yeah, sure. No, like I understand that. Obviously, I understand that. I get a lot of that criticism. But there's another aspect at play with Hasan, and I don't think it's fair to just analyze him like that's the only thing happening. It's not. There's other stuff at play here that I think is very important, that if you're not deep in these kind of like twitchy political communities, it's easy to miss. And I don't think that Dr. K spends a lot of time swimming through these kinds of toxic communities.
With the parts of them that I do see, which there could be a selection bias for, there's like, there's not a whole lot of like, let's understand why the right is the way that it is. That's not usually what they say. Let's try to understand the perspectives of the Palestinians. Let's try to understand the perspectives of the Israelis. I haven't seen them talk about that. There's rigidity, there's tribalism, and there's righteousness. And so I think that when you add tribalism, rigidity, and righteousness, when you add that with clout, power, and size, this is what you see. And this is not just him. So I encourage y'all to think about communities, how open they are, how understanding they are, how convinced they are that they're right and somebody else is wrong, and how do those communities behave. Don't even think about LSF or the Twitch sphere or the...
See, he's missing that fourth, because he is right in all the things he's saying, but he's missing that really key fourth element to Hasan's presence at Twitch.
...or whatever. Think about other groups that you know. So why am I talking about this? Because I think like we need to understand that this is happening. We need to understand that this poor guy, he is getting just an explosion of resentment because we've got nowhere else to send it. And I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's a good dude. I'm not saying he's a bad dude. Not my place to be judge, jury, or executioner. The reason I'm sharing this with y'all is because like we as a society need to understand these dynamics, because as long as this stuff keeps going, the world will literally keep moving in the direction that it's moving. It's about winning, not understanding. Right? And this is where like I said something earlier that I think is like, sometimes has got me in trouble, but I want you to really think about this. There are groups historically. Like why do people try to do genocide? It's because if I can wipe everybody out, then I win for sure.
Okay. Three and a half hours, bro. Which living president has done most for peace in the Middle East? Trump, 38%, Obama, 16%, Biden, 7%, Clinton, 7%, Bush, 4%. I mean, to be fair, Trump has now gotten total and absolute peace in the Middle East twice. So, just saying. I feel like Trump has probably done like I'm sorry. Hold on. What are all, this is very funny to me. There's so many countries involved. In Syria, Trump bombed. Which airport was it? Syrian airport bombing, Trump. Would you start supporting Trump if he achieved total peace in the Middle East 3 times? True. It's just one more time. It was an airport, wasn't it? Am I crazy? Which airport was it? U.S. bombing 2018, Syria. Against multiple government sites in Syria. Was it? Oh, maybe it wasn't just... Okay, well, Trump bombed. Let's see. In 2018 in Syria, Trump bombed multiple sites. Country. Why did we abandon our Kurdish allies? What was the date of that? Was that in 2019? 2019, in Syria, Trump allowed our allies, 3 exclamation marks, our ally, Turkey, to bomb Kurdish supporters who we'd worked with in Syria. When did we assassinate Soleimani? January 2020. In 2020 in Iraq, without cooperation with anyone in the government there, right? I don't think we notified Iraq at all that we were doing this, right? Trump carried out an assassination against Soleimani, an Iranian military leader. Trump cancels reporting Yemen strikes. When did he cut down on the reporting for drone strikes? Was it 2019? Trump scraps requirement to report some airstrikes. It's overturned an Obama air requirement for intelligence officials to publish an annual report on airstrikes in places like Yemen, Libya, and Pakistan. This was in 2019. In 2019, eliminated an Obama-era requirement to report different drone strikes in Yemen, Pakistan, and Libya. What else? I'm pretty sure we still worked with Saudi Arabia, right, in the Yemen civil war. Saudi Arabian-Yemen coalition. Oh, in 2017? What is this? Oh, that there were separate. Oh, there was a second. Oh, I didn't even know that. In 2017, in Syria, Trump launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles at the Chevron Air Base. Was watching a 3-year-old video on Hasan. He said he graduated from Rutgers. He's not on the alumni page. Are you looking at the right one? I don't know. When did this Saudi civil war thing end? Or is it still going on? Didn't the United States, when did we stop? United States. Throughout his, sorry, hold on. This is just a really stupid tweet. Throughout, or poll. Trump supported Saudi Arabia in their attacks on Yemen. In 2025, in Iran, Trump authorized a stealth bombing mission of their nuclear reactors. Trump pulls out of JCPOA. What was the date for that? 2018? In 2018, Trump pulled out of the JCPOA, the Iranian nuclear agreement, to prevent them from seeking nuclear weapons. What other countries has he fucked with? Oh, for Afghanistan, in 2020, Doha is Qatar, right? Wait, right? Yes. 20 in Qatar. Trump made an agreement to fully surrender the country of Afghanistan to the Taliban without even including. What was the, I always call them like the Afghanistan national government, but I don't think that's the correct term. What was the name of the actual government that was there before we left? What was it called? The Afghan National Defense, wait. Did not involve the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Okay. Afghanistan and the talks. What else? What other countries? Jesus. I'm trying to think of who else he fucked with. Well, what other countries are there? He loves his Turkish people. We've got an assassination in Iraq. We've got multiple bombings in Syria. We've got a bombing in Iran. Has he bombed Lebanon at all? North Korea? No, I'm just thinking of just the Middle East. I don't think he's anything in Lebanon or Jordan. And then all the Gulf is whatever, except for Yemen. He's helped to fuck with them. I think Egypt. I don't think we've done anything about in Egypt. What about Libya? That place is always kind of fucked. What's going on there? Let's see. Donald Trump, Libya. Can I put before 2024? Does that work? Study between a call by Mike Pompeo for halting an offensive against Tripoli by Libyan strongman and leader Pompeo. Dude, I can't believe how much of an all-star cast Trump's first cabinet was compared to the shit show we have now. Considering back then we thought it was going to be a nightmare. Okay. Okay, sorry. This just triggered the fuck out of me. What would your answer be here? What would my answer be here? Clinton tried to do something with, tried to settle the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, I think in a decently responsible way. I thought the Clinton parameters were good. I don't know what else happened with him. He would have been president from 93 to 2001. So right as the second Intifada kicked off, first and second Oslo happened. I don't think Clinton was involved in that, right? I don't remember any U.S. involvement or them mediating any talks or anything. But I would say that I thought the Clinton parameters were a good attempt at things. The Camp David that they tried to do. I don't know what percentage or whatever. I think this is just percentage of people that said for a particular person. Biden, I don't think Israel-Palestine was on our radar much at all. I don't know if Biden did almost anything relating to Israel or in the Middle East. Following through on the pullout from Afghanistan, I thought was good, even if it ended up being a little messy because of an ISIS attack. I thought that was fine. I think we stopped supporting Saudi Arabia with regards to their Yemen civil war. I think that stopped happening, I think in 2022 under Biden, which I would say is good. Biden was applying pressure on the Israelis during the war, but I don't know if we did anything beforehand. Obama did some good stuff and some bad stuff, probably. I would have to go back and deep read it because I don't know if I trust any deep reading I've done before Vyvanse, but I'm pretty sure that Obama was greenlighting weapons transfers to rebels in Syria through Turkey. I'm pretty sure that happened under Obama. Like, I think that was an official, like, under the hood policy. I think that the JCPOA I thought was good, even though Israel and Saudi Arabia hated us for it. I think Obama and Bush, I think, were also sanctioning settlers that were involved in violence in the West Bank. I think Obama and Bush were both doing that. Bush probably is never getting much credit here for blowing up Afghanistan and Iraq and kind of sort of bringing about the whole conditions for ISIS and all that bullshit. Probably not good. That whole axis of evil stuff was really dumb. Thoughts on the Libyan intervention? Oh, that happened under Obama. Gaddafi needed to go, but I don't know if the shit show afterwards was good. Yeah, I don't know. The Middle East is kind of fucky. I'm not sure. God, fuck. I just want to talk to that one guy for 8 hours. That Middle East eye guy was such a intelligent, such a good conversation. Like, he starts off with like one of the big problems in the Middle East. One of the big problems in the Middle East is U.S. imperialism, and his starting point was always like, I'm rolling my eyes. But he has such a good way of expanding on it. It's kind of like when somebody says, I use this example, when somebody tells me like, well, we went to war in Iraq, we were doing that for oil. It's like, no, that's retarded. But like, if you say, we went to Iraq because we have very large, at the very least, oil interests in the Middle East, in a broader sense, that's pretty true. Yes. And he had a good point about how, I say he had a good point. I mean, I agree that it's not like U.S. imperialism directly that leads to a lot of problems in the Middle East, but Western attempts to install certain leaders in response to what was going on during the Cold War has arguably led to a lot of the weird situations or instabilities that we kind of see today, because you have all these monarchs, these non-democratic governments that are probably only there because they have some allegiance to U.S. leadership, right? And you can argue that there's, well, not argue, like inarguably there's like some influence there, but it's complicated. Like, what would it be otherwise? I don't know. Sorry. Where were we here? Yeah, I don't know. Fuck. The Middle East is kind of fucked. I don't know who I would vote for on this list. I might give it to Obama just because getting any kind of formal thing signed with Iran, I thought was a really big deal. I thought that was good to prevent anybody else from getting nuclear weapons in the region. I thought was fine. So I would probably maybe tip my hat to Obama. Definitely not Bush. Almost certainly not Trump. I don't think Biden did much. Maybe Clinton. Obama, but he also did arguably some bad stuff too. Obama, it would probably be Obama or Clinton. Gulf 1 would have been Bush, right? In 91? Bush Sr., not Jr. though. Obama literally killed Osama himself with SEAL Team 6. Do you think getting rid of Saddam was good, short-term, long-term? Probably. That guy's kind of wacky. But I don't know much. I just don't know anything about right now. I don't know much right now about the state of Iraq. I just don't know what that place is like right now, so. What is this? Somebody just DM'd me and said, nuclear level clip just dropped.
There is I mean, Destiny literally fucking egged this shit on and has at times straight up said, you know, Hasan deserves to be shot and killed.
What is this trend of like straight up said and then you say a thing that I didn't straight up say?
And he has actually promoted people in his community that have approached me in different instances. Frogan has been harassed.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when the one guy walked up and said, what did he say? What did the one guy in the restaurant say that traumatized Hasan? He said, what, Destiny owns you or Destiny made you or something? What was it? Wow.
By another one of Destiny's friends and content creators as well. You do, I do not. There is not a single instance where I have ever fucking thought that this was appropriate, especially because...
Just to be clear, this guy is literally platforming Bada Banata, who was literally quote tweeting stories that I was posting outside of Nablus in the West Bank tagging Hamas fucking militant splinter cells trying to get me and Lonerbox murdered. Like, that happened. That was just a 100% thing that actually fucking happened. Was Bada Banana quote tweeting our videos and trying to tag Hamas affiliates to get us murdered in the West Bank, among other things. This is what Hasan is referring to, by the way, for the horrible harassment that he had to deal with. And I just want to say, I do sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. I don't know if I could deal with this if this happened to me in real life. I don't think I could. I don't know how Hasan deals with it. He's just...
We allowed in here, y'all?
That same age.
You good?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What a fucking loser.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. My God. My God. My God. My God.
Not only do I sometimes am on the receiving end of this shit, I also think it's like a objectionable behavior. It's horrible behavior.
You platformed all of this, bro. You clap and championing. Yeah, like people getting harassed or doxxed or murdered. You literally rebroadcasted on Twitch's platform, by the way, because Twitch also doesn't give a fuck about people getting doxxed or harassed. We've already seen that. You're literally rebroadcasting Bada Banana doxing every single person who is FEC filed on Progressive Victory because you thought that PV was like an Israeli-funded Destiny psyop. You just went through all of your doxes. All these people, by the way, who are your dick sucks now, you're literally fucking rebroadcasting their doxes. Not all of them, but some of them.
So, like, there are literal content creators who unironically...
Jesus, I'm behind the Emaru assault? What the fuck? That's so crazy.
Who unironically do this kind of shit and promote this kind of shit. And it's really fucking gross. There are content creators who themselves engage in this kind of behavior as well. Now, obviously, there's a difference between like a content creator that knows the other content creator and is like on, friendly and is friendly with the other content creator and they're like collaborating or whatever versus like a random content creator who is just like stalking someone. That's the difference.
Blah, 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 blah. Why am I watching this? I'm just to get triggered. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're done. I'm tapped out on Hasan shit. It's too much. Hello, everyone. I'm okay. Thank you for all the kind messages. Sorry, I cannot respond to them all. Hold on. This is in response to this event that happened yesterday. Why did Muhammad Gaddafi need to be removed? Do you mind explaining that thought? Pretty sure that dude was, if not already genocidal, was starting to get there. Like, he was locking up political prisoners, making absurdly crazy claims, saying that, like, Coke and Pepsi had, like, I think LSD sprinkles in it or whatever. The guy was, like, losing his fucking mind or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. We'll just scan in, and then we're meeting him up front.
Okay.
Thank you.
Apparently the security here was pretty bad.
Did what? Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Thank you.
Did what? Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Did he just not let, did he let him go in without?
Up front.
okay.
Thank you.
Did it work? Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just
See, Danny's really good at just being ultra confident about everything, and
We just walked past.
yeah. Which one's which?
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, there he is.
Where is he? Oh, I see him.
Over there.
S-Fan. Hey, S-Fan.
We're with S-Fan's team, so we're just gonna go through this side. Thank you.
Thank you.
S-Fan.
Wait, under this way.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Ma'am, this isn't McDonald's.
Oh, like fuck.
This isn't McDonald's.
Based. Jesus.